Hey everybody, Shep here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal content. If you've never seen my channel before, my channel is a vlog of stuff I do here on my homestead. And other than homesteading and homesteading type activities, one of the things I love is tools. And I really enjoy watching toolbox tours and stuff like that on YouTube. It's a really great thing because it gives you toolbox organization ideas, and it's neat to see how people have stuff laid out and what kind of tools they have. Now, I have never been a mechanic, nor do I claim to be, but when you have stuff here on the homestead like tractors and lawnmowers, it seems like there's always something that needs worked on, as well as, just regular home repairs and that sort of thing. So what I have here is a U.S. General 4-drawer tool cart from Harbor Freight. This particular toolbox I have had for almost 4 years. I bought this. I had a friend that's neighbor passed away of cancer, and I bought this and a few other tool things from his family. And like I said, I've had it for almost 4 years. This is not the more current one that they've got, the Series 2. This is, I don't know if this is what they called the Series 1, but it's a US General Pro. There are a few differences between this and the one they make now. Obviously, like I said, this is the 4-drawer, and the tool cart that's a more common one is a 5-drawer. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I've done some modifications to this that I think somebody might, find useful, or might help somebody. And the nice thing about these, I'm sure anybody that has one knows, is that Harbor Freight sells all sorts of add-on features you can do to pretty much customize this however you want. The only add-on feature for this that I've gotten is the folding side tray, which makes this super handy. I've attached to the side tray and then the lid here, I've attached some of their toolbox drawer liner that comes on the roll. It works nice because it keeps it from getting all scratched up, but at the same time, this stuff just doesn't really hold up good. I would like to upgrade this to some sort of rubber mat. If there's anybody out there that has a good recommendation for that, please let me know, because that's something I would be very interested in. But so, like I said, I've made 3 modifications to this. Now, I don't claim that I'm the only one that's done this. I'm just saying I haven't seen these before in other tool videos. And there was a time a few years ago where I pretty much watched every one of these, any toolbox tour of one of these carts that I could find to get ideas for organization and stuff like that. And I have come up with some good organizers and some ideas that, if you guys would like, let me know, and I will possibly make a video about that in the future, as well as doing a toolbox tour if anybody's interested. I will say, though, that I don't have any expensive tools. All my tools are cheap tools, but they work. I've never really had a problem with anything I've got, and if I do have a problem, then I get something a little bit better, but no expensive tools in this thing. Okay, so I thought I'd show this off. So this was the first toolbox I had, which I don't know if you can read it, Snap-on Tools. That is the only thing Snap-on that you'll see around here. I make the joke to lots of people that that thing probably cost as much as that new. But in all seriousness, that was my first toolbox, and I quickly filled it up, as you can imagine. And this was the next thing I got. And as I filled this toolbox up, that's why I made some of the modifications that I did. One thing I'll note, I don't know if the guy before me had done this or not, but I know it's a common modification to switch out the two of the casters and replace them with ones that swivel all the way around, because a lot of these have fixed casters and all 4 of these on this turn. So I don't know if that was something he did or if these older ones had that, because I believe that the newer ones do not. But anyway, let's move along to the modifications I've done. One thing which has been super handy is I built a hammer rack to mount on the side here. Before I had this, I just had hammers laying in here on the bottom. It was unorganized. I didn't like it, so I built the hammer rack. Now, I originally had it set up a little bit different, and which is why this piece of wood here is not painted. But basically, the way it is just like 1x2 furring strips built with some scrap wood that I've screwed together, pretty heavily, because I knew it was going to hold, hammers. And then there's a couple bolts between this and this, and it's kind of just sandwiched in there on the side. But that's been super handy, because that's a nice place to have hammers. They're really convenient there on the side, and it really doesn't stick out much more than the handle, so it's not like it's really in the way. Okay, moving along. The second modification and the third one kind of go together, but I added pegboard to the back of this. Now, you're saying probably, why did you do this? Well, as I grew and got more tools, I needed a place to put them. So at one point in time, I had stuff hanging up here on the back on pegboard. I had like some wrenches and wrench racks and some other type stuff that hung up on pegboard easily. But since then, I've gotten other toolboxes, and I don't really need this anymore. But, if you're kind of running out of space, it's something you could do. Or, you could hang stuff up here. I used to have, a knee mat for working on the floor. I had that hanging on here. You could hang extension cords. Pretty much anything that, you can hang on pegboards, you could do that with this. I used the existing bolt pattern, basically. I did have to get some longer bolts, and then, obviously drilled the holes in the pegboard to fit. But these are all these bolts are in locations where I didn't drill. Basically, what I'm saying is I didn't drill any holes. I used existing holes and made it work. So the third modification kind of goes along with this. Kind of, in my opinion, one of the drawbacks of these carts is I do like the size of them versus the bigger ones, but the bottom, there's kind of a lot of wasted space. It's nice because you can put stuff if you have stuff in cases or whatever, but there's kind of a lot of wasted space, in my opinion. But one thing I wanted was a way to kind of have some power tools on here. And I know recently Harbor Freight has came out with like a magnetic holder that you can put power tools on, but I didn't really care that much for it. I watched some videos. I thought about getting one, but kind of didn't really like it, because for what I just thought for what it was, it cost a little bit, which it was, they're like $25, I think. And I found a simpler, cheaper solution that I like better. I bought a cheap tool holder, basically, off of Amazon. I think this thing was $11, and I used the pegboard to mount it to. You can mount it to pegboard, or you could mount it to the wall. This thing, nothing on here is particularly heavy, but it works really nice. And I'm thinking about getting a second one and kind of cutting it down, because obviously a second one won't fit, just to give myself some more space. But the nice thing about this idea is that you can have your power tools up here, and then you can still have, space underneath if you've got, stuff you want to store underneath. So that part works out really nice. I would say the drawback to this idea, though, is that if you are somebody that has trouble maybe bending over, or if you're a taller person, you do kind of have to reach kind of far under there to get to them. Works great for if you're on the floor doing something, but it could be a little awkward to reach in at that angle. So that's pretty much the modifications that I've made. Like I said, I like these type videos because you can, sometimes you can learn stuff that'll help you for situation you're looking for or modification you're wanting to make. So I hope maybe somebody out there got something out of this video. Like I said, if there's other videos that you would like to see like this, let me know. To my subscribers out there, if you want to see more tool videos, let me know. I like talking about tools, so that's always something we can do, especially in the winter time when there's not a whole lot going on. But yeah, so I appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate my new subscribers. I've been picking up a lot of you guys lately. So if you've just recently joined, thank you. I really appreciate it. And like I said, let me know what you guys want to see. And with that, I'll say good evening to you guys, and I hope everybody out there has a nice night.